How are you? Oh, how are you doing? How have you been doing? I haven't seen you in so long. Are they the same? That's what we'll find out right here, right now. How are you is wie geht's. How are you doing is wie geht's. And how have you been doing is also wie geht's. That's right. Okay, so let's start with how are you? This is a question that you ask in general. It's not just today. Deutsche sagen gerne, dass Amerikaner ein bisschen oberflächlich sind. Und ich denke, das liegt ein bisschen daran, dass sie diesen Unterschied, genau diesen wichtigen Unterschied nicht so ganz erkennen. So, how are you? Es heißt ja nicht unbedingt nur jetzt. It's bigger than the moment. So, you might not be good today, or you might have even a really bad situation right now, but tomorrow might be better, and in general, your life is pretty good. So your answer is going to be, oh, I'm fine, thank you. How are you doing? So there's a lot of different situations you might ask this. This is a question you ask when you really want to know the answer. It's right now. It's in this moment, and you can get a little more detailed answering this question. Hey, how have you been doing? So this question right now and in the recent days. So you kind of are looking for a story when you ask this question. This is the kind of question you ask your friends or someone you know or really care about. How have you been doing? And when you ask this question, you're ready for a story. You want to know the whole thing. Oh my gosh, you won't believe it. I was driving you. Or this house renovation will never end, it seems. I can't believe it. Thank you so much for asking. You're open to a longer story. Remember, alles ist Gegenwart. Das ist ganz essentiell zu dieser Sache. The first one, simple present, present continuous, present perfect continuous. Da wird's heikel. Das ist ganz schwer für ein Deutscher zu verstehen. I have been working, Gegenwart ist. Means to generell, allgemein. The infinity sign shows, es gibt keinen Anfang, es gibt kein Ende. Present continuous, I've used eyes as my symbol because you can see what's happening. And for my present perfect continuous, I've changed to jetzt, aber wie lange schon? Okay, the infinity sign I used because it's entkoppelt von der Zeit. Das ist meine beste Möglichkeit, die ich finden kann, um klar zu machen, wenn Sie es sehen können, wenn Sie beobachten können, was abgeht. Diese Zeit ist nicht die richtige. Darum benutzen wir solche Worte wie always, never, sometimes, usually, generally, every day, every week. If you can see the action, don't use this time. It looks like this. She works at a bookstore. Auch wenn sie gerade am Schlafen ist. She works at a bookstore. Auch wenn sie gerade im Urlaub ist. She works at a bookstore. The next one. I've used eyes here because you can see the action. If you can use this tense, you can see it happening. You use words like now, at the moment, currently. And it looks like this. She can't talk right now because she is working. You can see her working. The third sign is a clock, and it kind of twists back into time. I tried to find something that shows you that it's now, but for how long? Our signal words are since last year or for 3 weeks. Looks like this. She's been working at the bookstore for 3 weeks. Es ist alles Gegenwart. Die dritte Form wird nicht Gegenwart genannt. Auch nicht in der Schule und auch nicht konventionell, wie es beigebracht wird. Ich kenne auch kaum einen Deutschen, der das richtig beherrscht. Ich behaupte, das würde viel bringen, von Anfang an da klarstellen würden, das ist eigentlich Gegenwart. Lass uns nicht so genau uns verlieren in Begrifflichkeiten. Wenn man sie wirklich versteht, dass es Gegenwart ist, ich behaupte, dass man es schneller lernen kann. Sie arbeitet in einer Buchhandlung. Sie arbeitet gerade. Sie ist nicht zu Hause. Sie arbeitet in einer Buchhandlung seit 5 Jahren. Let's take the verb to sit. The first sign, infinity, it is always. It's entkoppelt von der Zeit. So, you sit next to Robert at work, or think of someone you sit next to. Even now, while you're looking at this, maybe at home, I don't know where you are. It doesn't matter. You still sit next to at work. Even if you are in a restaurant, even if you are away from your office, you sit next to Robert at work. The next one, notice the eyes. You can see it happening. You are sitting in front of your computer. You're sitting there right now. And the third one, for how long? We have been sitting here for about 10 minutes. How long have you been working at your company? How long have you been sitting here? Drive a car. So here on the left side we see car keys. If you notice, there's a small little logo on there. So the keys are laying on the desk. Wir sehen unsere Kollegin, die sitzt da an ihrem Schreibtisch. Schlüssel liegt auf dem Tisch. Was wissen wir? Oh, she drives a Volkswagen. She's sitting at the desk, and you still can say, she drives a Volkswagen. She's not driving it right now. She drives a Volkswagen. Oh, look at her. She should not be talking on the telephone because she's driving. And these people left 3 hours ago on their road trip. So, how long? She has been driving for 3 hours. Okay, one of my favorite things to talk about is to drink wine. It's a little bit of an emotional topic, and you'll see why. On the left of my infinity sign, the sign that is for always with no connection to the current moment, no connection to what you can see, I've crossed out the red wine and shown the white wine. So I don't drink red wine. I only drink white wine. This is actually not true. Cheers. I do drink red wine. But I wanted to show you that I don't drink red wine right here. So sometimes I might have a client, I'll ask him in the morning at 10 o'clock, do you drink red wine or white wine? And he says, I'm working. I don't drink wine in the morning. That wasn't my question. My question was, do you drink white wine or red wine? Oh, I drink white wine, but I don't drink red wine. But look at her. You can see she is drinking red wine. And here, these are a picture of antibiotics. I started taking antibiotics last Friday, so I have not been drinking wine since I started taking antibiotics. Okay, let's change the verb to work from home. Let's ask some questions. Always? What would that question look like? Do you work from home? Now, if you answer yes, plain out yes, that means you don't have an office anywhere but at home. I work at home sometimes. That means you work at home sometimes and you have an office. I usually don't work at home. But now I am working from home because of the corona situation. Oh, and for how long? Oh, well, how long have you been working from home? I've been working from home since March. Yeah. Do you like it? No. I, for example, always work from home. Unless I go into someone's office to work and teach, I work from home. And this is a true statement. I work from home. Right now, I'm preparing this video, and I am also working from home right now. Here's our next verb, to know. It's a little bit tricky. Let's go through and see. We have our first symbol, the infinity symbol. This is always. I know Jim. I want you right now to think of someone you know. Fill in the blank for yourself, please, right now. This will be very effective if you do this. So think to yourself, I know. Think of someone you know in the office. Now, there is no way of saying it for now. I am knowing Jim is not possible. You know him or you don't know him. This is the reason the third form is also an exception. I have been knowing Jim for 3 years. It doesn't work. You can't say that. That is why I have known Jim for 3 years is what we say. This sounds very strange to the German ear. Translated, word for word, ich habe Jim seit 5 Jahren gekannt. This sounds like the past. However, that sentence I just said, translated back into English, ich habe Jim 5 Jahre gekannt, is in English, I knew Jim for 5 years. One of you have passed away, or for whatever reason, your paths will never cross again. Most likely, some kind of a permanent ending happened to be able to say that. So, I have known Jim for 5 years. Think of your sentence. Who do you say I know? Now, say those words with this person. I have known for It feels really strange, so do it. It'll set it in your brain. Okay, quiz time. Let's see what you learned. B. She drives to work every day. D. He has been working from home since March 15th. Be sure to look at the picture. A. She is talking to her doctor. You can see her doing it. The policeman is sitting at a donut shop. It's the only option because he is doing it right now. Again, look in the picture. The man works as a policeman. I have known you for a really long time. The corona pandemic has been going on since January. Okay, nochmal. Alles Gegenwart. Simple present, present continuous, present perfect continuous. The first one Simple present sind koppelt von der Zeit. Present continuous is right now. You can see it happening. And present perfect continuous, it is now. It's right now. But for how long? The words are always, never, sometimes, usually, generally, here, now, at the moment, currently. And for the last present perfect continuous, our signal words are since, last year, and for, 3 weeks. Okay, remember this? Let's go over it one more time. It might make more sense this time. How are you? Today might not be good, but in general you're good, so you say, I'm fine. How are you doing? Zurzeit, right now, in this moment. You can be a little more detailed answering this question because the question wants more detail. How are you doing? Hey, how have you been doing? How are you now and in the recent days? This question is asking for your story. Get comfortable. You can talk for a while. You can really tell them how you're doing. I hope that clicks a little better than the first time we went through it after seeing all of the different tenses to explain very exactly. Thank you. If you would like more information, please feel free to go to englishtrainingonline.de or send me an email. I'll answer them as soon as possible at info@trish-davis.com. 30 minutes a week and present you with something like this, a Zoom presentation that would take 30 minutes or so. There is no limitation on the number of participants because this kind of a presentation doesn't really require a smaller group. But then we could do smaller groups with 30 minutes with 2 to 3, maximum 4 participants where we could get into more detailed conversation for about 30 minutes. This makes it very flexible. It enables each person to have more intense training. The packages remain flexible. It makes it incredibly efficient. I would love to hear from you. I hope you learned something today. Please feel free to contact me. See you soon. And until then, take care.